Okay, so I want to kind of get personal with you today and talk about why I quit teaching after a 20-year career.
Shove it.
And in my title, I say why I quit teaching, kind of. I really retired early. And it really wasn't to my advantage to retire early because I took a great decrease in my retirement pay. And some of the reasons why I quit were family reasons. My dad had a prolonged illness, and I was really needed to help my mom during the hospice process with my dad. And I miss him every day. And I don't miss and I don't regret spending a lot of time with him that last year he was alive. And so that was part of the reason. I think I might have soldiered on and tried to do the things I needed to do at home if I wasn't so tired of some things in the education process. And I'd like to share with you with them now.
I'm so tired.
I was so tired of cheaters. I had kids in my class that would cheat, and I mean every semester I would have kids in my class that I would cheat, even though I threatened them within an inch of their life and told them about the consequences that they would suffer if they cheated. And I followed through on those as well. But the year before I left the profession, I had a class of 30 students, and somebody had gotten into my desk drawer and took pictures of the different versions of the test. And
Cheaters never prosper.
I had every single student in that class, except for a couple of them, cheat on an exam. And it really, really made me tired of cheaters.
I'm so tired.
Of yes men in education. It seemed to me, and I guess you get this in every profession, but you had teachers that would just go along to get along. When a new idea was presented to them, no matter how ridiculous it was, if it was presented to them by the superintendent and the principal, they would just automatically fall in line and not challenge.
Put Niedermeyer on it. He's a sneaky little shit just like you, right?
By the administrators. And so I was really so tired of yes men in our profession. Speaking of administrators,
I'm so tired
of administrators chasing on the bandwagon of anything, and that would be okay as long as we waited long enough for the last new idea to pan itself out. We would try new things, and we would be trying these new things, and we'd give up on them before we had the data to support if they were any good or not. And so I was so tired of the ADHD kind of administrators who would chase that shiny new thing before they had a chance to see if the old thing was working or not.
So tired. So tired.
Of false support. And so what do I mean by that? In the community, you would go out and they would say, oh, you're a teacher. You're so important to our kids. We should pay teachers more. Well, when it came time to increase property taxes to support maybe an increase in pay for teachers or increase supplies, oh no, we can't do that. That's just way too expensive. And so, I always felt like the support was shallow for our profession. And the other argument, a lot of the times that I was
I'm just so tired. I'm so very tired.
was, well, you have 3 months off during the summer. You shouldn't get paid for those 3 months. Well, it's more like 4 weeks. And during those 4 weeks, you would probably have at least 3 or 4 days of professional development. And so in a way, that 4 weeks was not only a time where you were trying to improve your craft, but it was also a time that if you would like to be able to take another job to make enough money to make ends meet. I had a lot of, especially starting teachers, really struggling to afford a house, have a family, to go on vacation. And so if you just had to depend on your teacher's pay to do those things, it was really a struggle. And so a lot of teachers had spouses that made more money, and they were able to get by that way. And so from that, in leading into my last thing, that really...
Oh, I'm so tired.
And this one, a lot of my fellow teachers might find hard to take. Is,
you want the truth? You want the truth? You can't handle the truth!
So tired.
well, they almost looked at their profession as strictly a calling. And no matter how much they got beat up by the administrators, no matter how much they were suffering at home from increased workloads and increased expectations and lower pay, they would just go along and they wouldn't stand up for themselves.
Beat me, kick me.
And so I was really, really tired of teachers not standing up for themselves.
Just a flesh wound.
And so those are the reasons, the primary reasons why I decided to leave the profession. I still love teachers. I think that they're super important. I look to the community and I look at the way that we can increase the understanding of our profession. And I think a lot of people think, well, anybody can teach. You know, those who can't do teach. I've heard that before. That I'm really tired of that saying also. So those are the reasons. Let's all work to keep people in the profession. It's super important that we have highly qualified, highly motivated, dedicated teachers. And so with that, peace.